today's guest. Haya is a professor and associate dean in the School of Business at Elon University and co-leads the Generative AI implementation team. Haya teaches undergraduate and graduate data analytics courses. She was named one of the top 50 undergraduate business professors in the United States by Poets and Quants, and her research focuses on better understanding the impact of technology use on individuals and organizations, and has been published in journals such as the Journal of Business Research and European Journal of Operational Research. Haya is the co author of Essentials of Marketing Analytics and Analytics in Sales. During her tenure at Elon, she has served as the president's faculty administrative fellow, and she founded the Center for Organizational Analytics. We are delighted to welcome you back today, Haya, and now I'll turn it over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sandy. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here with everybody. As educators, I think it's our responsibility to prepare our students for the rapidly evolving future. My hope for today is that we can explore the really immense possibilities these tools offer and discover ways to harness them to help deepen our students' engagement and empower their growth. So let's see today if we can unlock some of these opportunities together in this webinar. I'm about to share my screen and share some of the examples that I have curated for you with my students. But let me see if this works for us. Hopefully you can see my screen. Let's get started. So I've been really excited about all the new development in generative AI this past year. And it seems like a lot of things are happening in December. So we're going to talk about the changes that are happening now. We're going to talk about maybe reframing the way we think about those tools as tools to unlock our students' motivation. And then I'll give you some examples from the classroom, like I was saying earlier. Then we'll talk about where can we get started and how we can continue to learn together. So to get us started, I don't know about you, but I've been on the edge of my seat with the OpenAI new announcements. This was just yesterday's announcement, but they have been announcing new technology almost every day. They have 12 days of basically December, 12 days of OpenAI. And we have seen Sora being introduced this week. We've seen the visual intelligence tool as well, that's video intelligence, and which is going to be really a game changer in education, where you can take your phone and interact with ChatGPT, things that you're seeing live with your phone that will be available on the new iPhone. So lots of exciting things that are happening that I think can help us even further the engagement with our students. And today we're going to be covering some of those tools. So if you have not been following this news, definitely something to tune into, really exciting. But OpenAI is not the only company that has been doing some really wonderful innovations in this space. We see as well innovation with Google. Their Gemini model has been performing really well. And they even started a Gemini model for Learn. They're understanding now that students need help with homework, students need help maybe to summarize reports, and they're making all those tools available with some easy prompting. But Google as well has something that's called Google Labs. They are free products that are available with for anyone who has a Gmail account. I highly recommend that you look at this lab because it has some really exciting tools with some great implications for higher education. One that I've been playing a lot with the team is Notebook LM. But today I'm going to show you another tool that is more curated for our students who want to review research. So I'll show you that later, but lots of exciting things happening here. And we cannot talk about AI without covering and talking about the hardware technology innovations as well. So here, Google just this week announced and introduced Willow. I just want to share the statistics with you because it's really incredible. So what they have said is that a computational problem that would take Willow 5 minutes to complete, that same problem would have taken a classical supercomputer 10 to the 25th power years to complete. So imagine the things that we're about to unlock, whether it's in the sciences or in understanding potentially energy and new energy sources, But this is going to allow us to really advance even generative AI to new levels that we have not seen before. Very excited about the quantum introduction of, or the quantum technology that this is going to be helping us really advance into new levels. Now, some of my faculty and colleagues are always telling me, like, I don't know what tool to use. There's so many new tools that are being introduced every day, and which is the best tool? And really, the answer to this question depends on the day that you're asking that question. Hugging Face has created a leadership board for different models that are being crowdsourced to be evaluated. And it shows every day the model that has taken the leadership role. So this is actually what we're looking at for this week. We see that Gemini, that's a Google product, as you see here, is performing really well this week, but really a very close second is the GPT-4o models, and then we have many other models. What we're seeing as well, another tool that my colleague loves to use, if you have not explored that one, is Cloud. So highly recommend that one if you have not checked this product out. I got the chance to go to an OpenAI educational forum in October with several of my colleagues at Elon. And it was really eye-opening to hear the remarks from the OpenAI team. And the question that they asked is, what is the number one reason people use ChatGPT? And maybe if you have thoughts on this question, if you want to put those thoughts in the chat. But most people at this forum were saying, well, maybe document summarization, helping me with email. Some said data analysis. But what was so interesting is that the number one reason people actually use ChatGPT is for learning. And this is why OpenAI and other companies like Google are investing more resources in creating learning opportunities with these tools. And maybe knowing this now, maybe you will not be surprised to know that when we look at the usage of ChatGPT or OpenAI products, they said even it corresponds to a calendar that is an academic calendar. So the use spikes in the fall and it goes down during the holidays and spikes again in the spring and it goes down in the summer. Again, that's very telling. But now that I told you all this, probably this Digital Education Council global study will not surprise you. They did this survey with about 4,000 students from 16 countries, and they found that about 86% of college students say they actually use AI in their studies, and among them, 54% say that they use it weekly. And most importantly, in that same study, 80% of students said that they believe that their school's AI integration does not meet their expectations. And 73% believe that we need to be doing a better job in training our faculty to effectively use these tools. And this is very critical because the way that we adopt these tools will help our students be prepared with the competencies that they need for the future. So here is the question for you. How can we use these tools to unlock students' motivation? And I want to invite you here to reframe your thinking about these technologies. I talk to some of my colleagues and they say, I don't want my students to use ChatGPT, they're cheating using it, using that tool, or even furthermore, they say that it will shortcut their learning. Well, maybe we can reframe all that into a new way of thinking. So when we frame generative AI solely as a tool for cheating, we actually reduce it to its most negative application and overlook its rich potential for enhancing teaching and learning. This narrow perspective, I believe, can create an atmosphere of mistrust between us and our students. It can stifle innovation, and even further, it could discourage us and our students from exploring these tools as really something that can help us engage them better in the classroom. Maybe that can help them be better or more creative. Maybe it can help them build skills that they do not have. And by focusing only on cheating, I feel that we deny ourselves the opportunity to help them develop critical digital literacy skills, learn ethical and responsible use of these new technologies, and engage in more thoughtful, collaborative learning process. So then I'm inviting you here to think with me about these tools and reframe our thinking that it's a resource that can support intellectual growth and responsible inquiry. When we think about these tools as a cognitive partner, we can actually reframe it to help us personalize the learning for our students, build relevance and purpose. When the students see themselves or the future selves in the topics that I'm teaching, they're more likely to engage with it. When I'm giving them encouragement and positive reinforcement along the way, and providing that potentially with an AI tutor, then they're more likely to actually become engaged. Maybe I'm more likely then to be able to tap more into their intrinsic motivation, help build their self-efficacy, and empower them to take control over their learning. And with that framing, I would like now to share with you some examples that I've curated for you from the classroom. And we're going to start with the AI tutor example. Then I'm going to show you, I have so many examples as you see here. Then I'm going to show you something about research. And I know many of us assign our students research papers to read. So I'm going to show you how we can engage students with research in a new way, group dynamic and how that can be assessed, class projects and how those could be improved, thinking about data analysis, finance homework, and maybe how we can even use it for grading. So let's get started with the AI tutor. What I did here is I have curated a custom GPT for my students, and custom GPTs are really very easy to build. You just need a good narrative or good prompt in the back end, and you see my prompt here to the right. And then what I did is I uploaded my slides for my students, as well as uploaded my syllabus and had my students interact with the content. But here is a student interaction with it. We're going to listen in, and then I'm going to comment about how other students have used this tool as well. All right, let's get this started.
Hey, Chet. I'm a junior at Elon, and my professor told me I could use your help for questions I have about the course. So, how can you help me?
Hi there. I'm your AI tutor for data mining for business decision making. Happy to help you with anything about the course, whether it's understanding concepts, preparing for quizzes or projects, or even working with tools like RapidMiner or R. I've got you covered. What would you like to learn about today?
I would like to learn about how data mining can be applied to the real world and is used today.
Great choice. Data mining has a lot of real world applications across industries. Are you looking for examples in a specific field like marketing, healthcare, or finance, or just a general overview? Also, would you say you're a beginner or more advanced in understanding data mining? That'll help me tailor the explanation to you.
Currently, I'm a beginner in data mining as it's my first course on the topic, but I would like to learn about how it's used in marketing specifically.
Got it. Since you're just starting, I'll keep things simple and use examples to connect data mining to marketing. In marketing, data mining is like finding patterns in mountains of customer data to make smarter decisions. For instance, customer segmentation. Companies use data mining to group customers based on behavior, like buying patterns or website visits. For example, an online store might find one group buys luxury items and another prefers bargains. This helps target each group with specific ads or offers. Recommendation systems. Ever noticed how Netflix or Amazon suggest shows or products you'll like? That's data mining.
By the way, those examples that's pulling out are examples that are coming from my slides. So I have Netflix there as an example. I talk about collaborative filtering, for instance, and it's going to pull that in as well.
Looks at your preferences and others' behavior to suggest what you might want next. Churn prediction. Businesses can predict which customers are likely to leave based on their behavior. Say someone hasn't shopped in months or unsubscribed from emails. That pattern can help marketers offer discounts or incentives to keep them. Now, why do you think these techniques are so valuable in marketing?
I think these techniques really help companies understand their target audiences and help them tailor their ads or other things towards them so they can buy their products.
Zach, you're spot on. By under
Again, you see here the interaction, it's giving live feedback, it's telling the student they're on the right track. And as they're learning a concept, it's actually moving, just like the prompt has asked, to a more deeper and deeper topics and about marketing analytics. So I really love that interaction that it has created. This particular student as well asked it to create a study guide for the midterm exam. And the reply that I gave them that the midterm exam is going to be based on chapters 1 to 6. I'm going through the slides now, and I'm going to curate for you those questions that you need for studying. It also told the student what assignments were due at the end of each lecture, which I thought was really valuable because it's something I always struggle with my students kind of saying, oh, I didn't know this assignment was there. It's on the slides, it's on the syllabus, but they still need another reminder. So this AI tutor can serve as a support system like that for our students. So in this example, I think we're able to see again that interaction, this back and forth with the students. We're able to provide more personalized support based on the topics the students are interested in. And my hope is that my students are going to come to class and actually be more engaged with the lecture, because now they have had this discussion with AI tutor and the whole learning curve in the class will be pushed up. Let me show you another example. So I'm really excited about this tool. This is the Google Lab tool I was talking about earlier. And in this tool, what Google Labs has done is create a notebook or a notebook LM, which we have talked about before. But this one is another tool that's called Illuminate that focuses on research papers. Now, how many of you have assigned your students research papers? And then here you are excited, you have read the paper and you want your students to be engaging, and only very few students have read the paper or even anything beyond the abstract, right? They probably maybe got through the literature review, but really not beyond that. What if we can change that experience for them? And let me show you how. So here what we're doing is we have this Google Lab. We're gonna try the Illuminate tool, and then we're going to click on Start Generating. We're going to type a topic of interest. So it could be any research topic you are interested in. This one is student engagement with GPT-4, because this is the topic of our webinar here. I just selected a couple of papers. These are open access papers that Google has made available for us. I'm going to click add. You can also test the voice that you want this.
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh dear, I'm late."
The rabbit pulled out a watch and muttered, "Oh dear, I'm late."
But in this, what you see is you can test the sound of what you want the podcast to sound like. And then what we're doing here is we're looking at uploading these papers into the system to curate the podcast. You can as well look at the different papers. You could go through them. You could read the different sections, better understand the paper, how it's set up. And then from there, I'm going to skip over to get you to the part where we're hearing the podcast.
This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. Ever wish you had a personal tutor who was always available, never tired, and could adapt to your learning style?
Sounds like a dream, right? But what if that tutor was actually an AI?
That's exactly what this paper explores.
Yeah.
They use GPT-4, the latest and greatest language model, as a homework tutor for high school students.
And not just any homework, they ran a full-blown experiment to see if it actually worked, right?
So did it? Let's find out. So how did they set up this experiment? Did they just let GPT-4 loose on a bunch of kids?
Nope, it was pretty structured. They used a randomized controlled trial, or RCT, which is the gold standard for this kind of research.
An RCT sounds intense.
Yeah, it means they randomly assigned students to either a treatment group who got the GPT-4 tutor or a control group who did their homework the old-fashioned way.
Smart. So they could really compare apples to apples.
I see.
What was the GPT-4 tutor actually doing? Was it just answering questions?
It was more interactive than that. The teachers provided the homework assignments along with a description of the learning goals and an example.
So GPT-4 wasn't just making up its own assignments?
No, it was working with the existing curriculum. The prompt gave GPT-4 enough information to guide the students through the material step by step.
like a real tutor would. Be
Yeah.
clever. And the big question, did the GPT-4 tutor actually help students learn?
The results were interesting. Overall, there wasn't a huge difference in learning gains between the two groups.
Oh, so it didn't magically boost everyone's grades?
Not exactly, but when they broke it down by grade level, the younger students in the treatment group showed a significant improvement in grammar.
So it seems to work better for certain groups? That's fascinating. Beyond grades, what else did they measure?
Student engagement and satisfaction. And here, the GPT-4 group really shone.
They liked it better?
Absolutely. They found the homework more interesting and useful, and almost everyone wanted to keep using the tutor.
That's a huge win. Even if the learning gains weren't massive, the increased engagement is significant. There's always concern about AI tools leading to over-reliance or plagiarism. Did they address that?
Yes, they looked at how often students use the tutor and whether it led to errors. The hallucination rate, that's when the AI makes things up, was incredibly low.
So GPT-4 wasn't making stuff up?
Barely, and the students didn't seem to become overly dependent on it. That's good to hear.
Did they find anything unexpected?
Yes, they found that weaker students benefited more from the tutor than stronger students.
Really? That's counterintuitive.
It could be because the stronger students were already close to the ceiling, so there was less room for improvement. Or maybe the tutor was particularly good at filling in knowledge gaps. It's a good point.
So what's the takeaway here? Is GPT-4 the future of homework?
It's definitely a promising start. The study shows that AI tutors can be effective, especially when combined with a well-designed prompting strategy.
And it's not just about grades. It's about making learning more engaging and accessible.
Isn't that really good? Just hearing as well how they humanizing the podcast here, where with the pausing, with the humor. This is really, I mean, I couldn't stop. The first time it was summarizing the paper, I did not want to stop it until I got to the end. And I don't know about you here today, but I really want to better understand this study. And I feel when we give our students something like this now coming to the classroom, they will be able to better discuss the study. And even if they are reading the study after going through the podcast, at least they have the basis to learn what they're reading about better, and maybe even criticize the tool to see if it hallucinated anywhere in this process. But really good. Again, it just happened that this paper does align with the topic we're talking about today, and interesting results there with engagement. At the end, we'll go through the limitations of the study as well, and future research areas and what could be done there. But this is one tool that I highly recommend. Again, we look up potentially for us as well as faculty and researchers. When we have many research papers that we need to read, this could be a helpful tool for all of us. Next, what I want to show you is how we can elevate group work. And this is actually a topic I want to thank here Sarah Bonnell. She is the director of the Center for Advancement Teaching and Learning here at Elon. And Sarah has challenged me to really think about group work. A lot of us, when we assign our students group projects, we're always thinking about that final project that they are submitting and the papers that we need to grade with that final project. But for me personally, I really haven't thought deeply about the process of the group work and how it's not really just about teaching students the material of the class or producing that one document together. It's actually about teaching them how to work with others effectively. So with that spirit, what I have here for you is a conversation among three of our Elon students, Josie, and Farmata. And those three students are in a finance trade class where they are learning about how to make investment decisions. And it seems like they had some challenges in their group dynamic, and there's some frustration that one student, which is M in this case, is discussing with her classmates. Sometimes we tell students to come to us as faculty to talk about these issues, but they have problems making that visit to the faculty because maybe that shows that they're not effectively managing their team. But what if every student has an ability to use ChatGPT to listen into their group work since they start their project and help them balance the group project that they're working on? So let's listen in. What we have here is the prompt to the left, and the right, we will be seeing the students' interaction with the tool. Now, We have 3 students talking and then AI. I know sometimes it's hard to distinguish who's speaking in those settings, but here we are. Just here, we took that prompt, we pasted it, and then it said, understood, I'll be observing the
So I
behavior.
wanted to talk to
And
you
here's
both
M.
about Grading is closing and we're starting to work on our final report for this class. I noticed that our portfolio is not doing as well as we were hoping. The target return is 9% and we're looking at 6% right now. I looked at the trades and it looks like the majority of the trades that we've made have been due to me, and I probably made like 60–70% of them. And I was hoping that since I'm not as confident in the trades, every week I feel that I prompt you guys to like make a group discussion before we turn these trades and decide on which investments to make. But it seems that it's not a group effort and I do it and it's like a rush decision and I feel not very confident in the choices that I make. I was hoping that maybe going forward that we could do like 10 minutes before class as like an open discussion as to which ones what choices we want to make investment wise, and so that it's not just all on me if the portfolio isn't at the end of this class doing as well as we hoped.
Okay, yeah, well, okay, yeah, thank you for bringing up your concerns. I apologize for not being as involved in the trading decisions, but to combat that, I did have an idea that we could invest in Tesla, because of like the election results and everything. I feel like that might be able to do well for us and then boost that target return percentage that we need to. So I can do that trade and then write that part of the reflection as well, and then help you with any more decisions if we decide to trade any more.
Yeah, I understand where you guys are coming from. It's been kind of a challenging semester for me, especially with this class, because I'm a finance minor, and this is actually my first finance class that I've taken, so I don't know too much about trading and investments, but I was thinking maybe I could help you guys out with the writing portion, but not so much with the trading because I'm not very confident in that area. So,
Okay.
Actionable feedback based on your group's dynamics so far. Strengths. 1. Open communication. The group is addressing issues openly, bringing up concerns about workload and performance shows a willingness to improve. 2. Acknowledgement of effort. Members are recognizing each other's contributions and challenges, which promotes understanding. 3. Willingness to adjust. The suggestion to include Tesla demonstrates proactive thinking to address performance gaps. Areas for improvement. 1. Inclusivity in decision-making. It seems one member has been handling the majority of the trades, which could create imbalance and stress. A more structured approach to decision-making could help. 2. Confidence and engagement. Some members feel less confident in their skills, which might limit participation. Creating a supportive environment for learning can empower everyone. 3. Role clarity. Clearer role assignments or a rotation system for trading decisions could distribute responsibilities more evenly. Actionable suggestions. 1. Establish a weekly plan. Schedule short meetings to discuss trades as a group. Each member could prepare one idea or insight to share beforehand. 2. Leverage strengths. Those with more confidence in finance could mentor others or explain reasoning behind trades. This builds collective knowledge. 3. Assign roles. Divide tasks for the final report and trading reflections. For example, one member could research new trading options while another confident in their skills, which might limit participation. Creating a supportive environment for learning can empower everyone. 3. Role clarity. Clearer role assignments or a rotation system for trading decisions could distribute responsibilities more evenly. Actionable suggestions. 1. Establish a weekly plan. Schedule short meetings to discuss trades as a group. Each member could prepare one idea or insight to share beforehand. 2. Leverage strengths. Those with more confidence in finance could mentor others or explain reasoning behind trades. This builds collective knowledge. 3. Assign roles. Divide tasks for the final report and trading reflections. For example, one member could research new trading options while another tracks performance metrics. 4. Collaborative tools.
Use shared platforms like Google Sheets or Slack to document trade ideas and facilitate group discussion asynchronously. Would you like me to expand on any of these areas or provide further guidance on specific aspects of the project?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need anything else. Good luck with your project.
That was good.
I actually wanted you to hear at the end how the student was saying that was good. Again, imagine taking this tool and utilizing it from the beginning. You can create a custom GPT that is there with the students' meetings, maybe even documenting what it is that the students have said they're going to do and they're responsible for, and then putting together a list of to-do list for each of the students with a timeline and ensuring that the students are keeping progress of their work. So I really love how potentially we could use this tool to advance our students' group work. And I'm sorry for that repeat there. It's just a pause, so I had to repeat it. Hopefully that wasn't very, I guess, like it stopped right there. So let's see, engage your students' interest. If we can take a student's project and think about things that the students are interested in. So for instance, I'm teaching a marketing analytics course. And what I want to do in that marketing analytics course is I want to ask my students, rather than just read about marketing campaigns or create a marketing campaign just for my class, I want them to be able to take a topic that they're passionate about. Maybe it's a product that they're interested in. Maybe it's something else, like they are interested in a company or a business, a local business. So in this instance, I want to show you a local business that we have in the area. It's called the Oak House. It's a coffee shop that students and faculty and staff love to hang out at. And we are asking ChatGPT to help us create a marketing campaign. As you see, the instructions for this are very detailed. We're asking for a clear value proposition, brand positioning, a timeline for the mapping of the campaign milestones. And finally, we want a comprehensive plan that should empower the users to build and execute cohesive, results-driven output. So let's see what happens when, in this example, what I'm going to be doing as I use it in my class in January, I'm asking my students to go out, take pictures of product or the company that they're interested in. And then I want them to upload that as extra information before they put it in ChatGPT. So here's how this one is going to work. We take that prompt that we have copied, we'll copy that and paste it in here, but we also take pictures of the business and we're uploading all those pictures into the ChatGPT environment. And what we have here is the marketing campaign is basically going to be set up, and we're going to put that in ChatGPT 4.0. So let's see how this is going to work. And you will see the results. It's really incredible. It's showing us that we have a comprehensive plan. We're going to start with the value proposition. It recognized the place where the Oak House is in. It's divided the segmentation of the market from college students to faculty to community members to sustainability and local support messages. It talks about differentiation of the products that it offers, a lifestyle branding. It also has integrated marketing mix, focusing on social media and email marketing. And it has even messages for each of these type of media, as well as customer segmentation. It talks about influencer marketing. All these things are going to be talking about in my class in January. So it will help students kind of put it into action. Then the events that the Oak House maybe could run, and some of these they already run, like live music night, for example, or faculty and staff appreciation events sound also great. In-store experiences that they can have by selling merchandise and so on. And then campaign timeline. And as you see, it's just basically all this is in front of us here with the KPIs that we need to measure, as well as how that budget could be allocated for each of these projects that we are leading here. And then what we have here is I'm going to activate, and I want to show you this tool. You can activate the search option within this tool. So what are the main competitors of the Oak House, and what are some of their marketing campaigns or strategies? I'm gonna let it go and research the web to find those competitors. And sure enough, in a few seconds, I found the competitors in the area. And students here at Elon would recognize each of these, like the Acorn Coffee Shop or Arizu, and it has others as well that recognize. It even recognized companies I did not know about, so I need to go visit those. Love a local coffee shop. We have as well Starbucks here, and brand recognition, their positioning, and their competitive marketing campaigns for each of these. And then next, what I did is I asked it to create, to focus on strategy for Instagram, and this is what it did. So we have that here. We have a strategy just for Instagram, so students can interact with that strategy, try to explore it, see what they can do with the just the hashtags, the popular hashtag, thinking about influencers again. And then finally, I said, okay, now we want to do a presentation for our owner of the Oak House, and could you please create a slide, a deck for me in which I could then share with the owner. And sure enough, it took this prompt, and that's the prompt, and it created slides. And I'm going to show you the link that it created. So it has here, download the proposal, and it had a slide deck that is black and white. It was very basic, but it does have at least the essential concepts that it shared with me. And then I could come here and edit those slides and make them better. This is really a good tool to, again, get us started with the work that we want to do. And then hopefully the students can elevate this output into a next level where it's actually implementable and can create value for local businesses. So this is this example. Of course, I want to show you something else. I wasn't very satisfied, I have to say, with the slides that came out of ChatGPT. So what I did, one of my colleagues here at Elon, Tate, he loves this tool. It's called Gamma. So I just want to show you what Gamma can do. You can import file. This is, by the way, a free version of Gamma. You can upload a file. So we can take the file that we had from the Oak House PowerPoint that was created by ChatGPT. I can upload it here. And then what you'll see, it will create the theme, and it's going to ask me to comment on which theme I want. So we're going to generate the slides, and here it is generating slides in seconds. I did not expedite this. This is how fast it's really going. And I have to tell you, I'm really disappointed. I love creating slides, and I feel this is going to put me out of that hobby that I have of creating slides, because there's definitely no need for me to do that anymore. As you see, it's very quick. Probably I can just edit those slides and make it even better, but the base definitely is there. And here's what the final product looks like with the images that it has created, and even the transitions that it has. And this is a file that can be shared with others, or it could be looked at in different formats as well, downloaded in different formats. Really good. Again, the imagery is very strong. So I know we've been talking a lot about Sora, and the introduction of Sora this week has definitely captured the market. So here, let us look at this together. This is the Sora platform, what it looks like. It's very sleek. It looks really good, very clean. You can select or build what they call storyboard, and this is the storyboarding aspect. So here, just in the theme of the Oak House, in a cozy coffee shop, students are sipping warm drinks. It's holiday season. The place is welcoming and warm. What does it look like? So you take this prompt, you click create here at the bottom, and then this is what the product looked like. So I'm gonna skip over that. It does take a minute to create. So here it is, cozy study place, and it created 2 scenes for me. I'm gonna zoom into each of these scenes for you. Now, there are some strange things in this image if you look closely, but overall, right, like the content is impressive. Just based on that prompt, I got a scene. And this is the other one, what it looks like, but you get the idea here. You can use those scenes potentially created by Sora for some of your marketing campaigns. And the more you interact with the tool and the better the prompt is, the better the output. But some of the output is very, very creative. So here we are. Next, I want to show you data analysis. This is a topic that's really important for the classes as well that I teach, because I teach the data mining course and the marketing analytics course, and both of those require a lot of data analysis. I think two things to remember here is hallucination is still a problem with these tools because of the probabilistic nature of those tools. However, it's getting better. And keeping human in the loop is really important. That is whether you're prompting it or actually verifying the output that it's giving you. So this is really critical. This is amazing. So you can take a piece of paper, draw on it charts that you want the tool to create, and you can even specify that you want to filter the data by a certain thing, and then it will create that output for you. So let's see how this works. The first thing I did here is I took a data set that is in CSV file. It's a retail sales data that has about 5,000 records. And I asked ChatGPT to help me understand my data. Again, notice the speed. It came back with my fields. This is a new feature with the ChatGPT. You can actually select any of these fields and further manipulate them. But when I asked it to further tell me about my data, it gave me a data dictionary. Notice I did not tell it or give it a data dictionary. It just tried to understand each field, what it means, and gave me a definition for it. It also gave me observations here of data that I need to fix, whether it's data appears to be clean, there are no missing values, date need to be converted to a date format. And then I asked it to actually convert it to a date format, which it did. Just really incredible. And then it said that maybe you have quantity and unit price. Maybe you want to calculate sales or revenue. So I selected those two columns and I said add sales, didn't even tell it more than just selecting the two columns. And sure enough, it added sales. So I see here how it added sales for each of the records. And then it said, well, here are some things maybe you want to explore. Maybe you want to show sales trends over time. So what I did is I clicked on that, and what it will do is we'll create a visualization for us. So we could look at how the data is varying over time. Really neat. Okay. Next, you can analyze the data by product category or visualize top performing products. And I, again, selected one of the things that it asked for, which is analyzing sales by product category to see what it gives us. This is the Python code behind the scene that it's running in order for it to give us the output that we are reviewing here together. It's going to give me a table, as you see on top, as well as visualization to show the product that has the highest sales all the way to the lowest sales. Again, identify top customers by sales, another Python code, as you see. And I verified all this data. I had my data run on with my other tools and within Python, and it gave exactly the same results. So there was no hallucination in this process, which I was really impressed by. Again, it could be a problem, but for this data set, maybe was not, because it's a smaller data set. Here we have an RFM model, recency, frequency, monetary value model. I know my marketing colleagues will like this one. I always ask my students to run an RFM model and do a cluster analysis on that. And sure enough, it did that for us. And then a k-mean cluster analysis is another test typically we run after running the recency, frequency, monetary value model. So I asked it to create a k-mean analysis. It gave me this chart. And I was kind of curious if it could do a 3D or a three-dimensional. So I actually asked it to do that for us. Here's the code for it. And yes, that's something I usually get my students to do. So recency, frequency, and monetary value, and you can see where your different data points fall in that. And now I took the image that I showed you earlier with the hand written note, and I said, create these visualizations. And it coded, like it just read the handwritten note into what it is that I want. changed that to a text. And then from there, let's see, it created the Python code. And here they are. These are the data visualization I asked for. It even for the last one, it filtered the data for Nike product only, and it showed me the output. This is really like great, right? Like it can really help us expedite the learning process with data, and then the exploratory process, and then we can go into another tool and further dive deep into that data, at least for now. And then I said, write the key insights. By the way, I was creating this exercise for you yesterday, and or the day before, and the tool got updated while I was working on this. So these new options down here were just like what you're about to see here with the key insights written. This new option of editor, which allows you to add emojis, update your data without having to take it into another document before you add or make it your own. You can actually do editing within the tool. This is new. And it just happened as I was creating this exercise for you, so you could see what it looks like. And here it is. And then finally, I wanted to show you that it also recognizes geographical data. And I'm gonna skip over here to the end so you can see what the map looked like. I asked it to download a sales heat map and multiple heat maps, but I'm going to show you the sales heat map because it's really good. So it did that. You see the Charlotte, North Carolina here, and you can zoom in and read more about those data points. But yes, it's able to as well recognize data points. Closer look at finance. My colleague Raj Gupta gave me this. I wanted to try the O1 Pro mode because they're saying that it's better at science and math. So what I did is I took a picture of an assignment that Raj gave his students, and then I uploaded that into the O1 model, and it thought about the answer. This is the thinking part, is what's new about those O1 models, that they have just they go back and forth in the answer until they find the best answer with that reinforcement learning. And then if I skip over to the end, you will see that actually solve these problems and all these answers were correct. So here we are with these examples. There's so much that we could yet explore. But one question that lots of faculty ask me is, well, could I use these tools for grading? I love the MIT Sloan Teaching and Learning Technologies guidelines on grading. I think it's really important to follow those guidelines using data protected tools, anonymizing students' work, making sure that it's complementing you, not replacing your judgment in how you grade. Be transparent. You create the rubric as well. That's really important. And regulatory auditing the system regularly is really important as well. But let me show you this quick example here. So we have test graded. This is just a paper that I created and uploaded into the Role of Business School in preparing students in the era of AI. And here's the feedback that it gave me for this. It has, again, the rubric in the back end. This is part of a custom GPT that another faculty member has created. It's called University Grading Assistant. And that faculty member has the rubric behind it, again, to give a score. And maybe it's a first step before you start grading your paper. Maybe it will show you some other things that you haven't thought about, but definitely the human in the loop is critical. You have seen through the process as we're going through these exercises, the prompt engineering is very important. And the prompt engineering best practices now are not only for the students to interact with these tools, like they interact with a search engine. This is more for them to interact with this tool to really help them elevate the output that they get. So it's more like, again, like a tutor or a guide. So I have faculty members who tell me, I ask my students to use ChatGPT and their output is just much worse. Or it's so easy for me to catch my student because they're utilizing these tools, again, to that point that we're making earlier. I think all this is because, again, if we are to utilize these tools and we're allowing our students to use it, we need to teach them how to use it the right way. And prompt engineering is really important here. If the student asks, can you summarize a report for me? That's not enough. If the student asks, can you summarize, I'm a finance student, summarize this report, and they give the role, they give the task, and then the context is I'm trying to better understand the cost trends and overall profit margin. That's better. But now even the best way of prompting is to also give your expectations of what you want the output to be. That's something that we followed along in all the examples that I showed you earlier. So if you can give the context, the role, the expectations, I think that will give you a much better output for how your students' outcome will be and how your students will be guided through that process. Again, this is a recommendation by OpenAI. The OpenAI team has been promoting the utilization of the task, the context, the role, as well as expectations. And you can use that on cloud. You can use it in the Google products, as well as in OpenAI products like what we've seen here. This is focused on OpenAI only, and I think we're going to see more and more of this in the future. There will be certain products that are used for, or models that are used for certain tasks. So they're saying that O1 series, whether it's the Mini or the Pro, they're actually best for math and science. So another task to maybe think about implementing them in is in research or writing a strategy, and where versus 4.0 products are good at analysis, like what we've seen earlier with the data analysis we did together, or it's good as well for content generation. And that is where you're creating your first post for the Instagram, right? Like what we've seen with the earlier example for the marketing campaign. Can you create my first social media post and what that would look like? To keep going here, if you are wondering where can you get resources on all these changes that are happening and how can you continue your digital AI literacy journey, I want to invite you to come to elon.edu/AI. My colleague Mustafa Akban has been doing some really incredible work. He even created Elon GPT, where our students and faculty and staff are interacting with the Elon GPT to learn more. To as well, we have one for advising. So advising is usually critical. Students need a lot of support with that. So he created one for advising. But if you want to know about teaching resources and events and workshops that we'll be holding at Elon, this will be a great hub for you. My colleague as well, another colleague is running a survey with the academic leaders, with presidents and provosts, and that survey results is about to come out in January, so be on the lookout for that. And what he found is that we have some work to do with these tools as we move into the future and how we prepare our campuses so they're ready for an era of AI and new engagement, new empowerment. My colleague Dan Anderson has worked with several people at Elon, and they created a student guide for AI. And this is an incredible guide. I'll tell you that it has been so well adopted. In fact, we have I think he had like about 9,000 downloads already of this. International schools as well as local schools have adopted this. He has information that as well about 266,000 readership. So definitely something that students are benefiting from. But it's 20 pages only, and it guides students through what is prompt engineering? How do I use these tools ethically? How do I engage with these tools to improve my career outcomes? So really a nice guide. The new guide that he's creating is going to come out in spring. So again, be on the lookout for that. And this is in a partnership with AAC-NU, which has been really terrific to see the readership that came out of this report. So what should we do now? If you are interested in these products and you're kind of thinking like, how can I implement it? What should I do? I need to learn more. I would say invite generative AI into your daily tasks, whether it's administrative, work, teaching, research, even your personal life, right? Help me come up with a recipe, or I'm going and traveling somewhere and help me create a plan of day 1 and 2 and 3 in my travel it will do that for you. But the more that you utilize it in those spaces, the more as well it will bring in new ideas for how you can use it in your classroom. I would say as well, dive in boldly. You are the expert in your field, and I think these tools are only going to, again, elevate what we do every day. Share your discoveries with other, highlight tools that you succeeded in, things that you feel like could have been better. And that learning is really important for all of us. This is why webinars like this are so critical. Sometimes the tool works, sometimes it doesn't work, and this is what we need to share. And keep in mind that the tool today is the worst tool that we will ever use. So this is where we are right now. I'm really delighted that I was able to share with you some of these examples. And here's my contact information. Sandy, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Great. So, wow, thank you so much, Haya, and everyone for joining us today. I hope you found today's presentation helpful. I do want to remind you to look for an email from us probably tomorrow that will include the link to the webinar recording. I know that some of you could not get into the early part of the webinar for the first few minutes. We had so many people logging in. So please know that that link you should receive that tomorrow to the webinar recording. And please feel free to share that link with any of your colleagues as well. It will be posted to the website as well. So I want to quickly share some information with you. First of all, if you don't have what we call an educator account on the HBP education website, I do encourage you to register. It is free. And doing that will give you access to teaching notes, course planning tools, free trials of simulations, and it gives us access to the entire catalog of HBP cases and simulations. And one of the things we're really excited about to share with you is our newest addition to the HBP website, which is a section called Teaching with AI. In this section, you will find resources, including guides and advice for integrating AI into your teaching and upcoming and past webinars on this topic, just like today's webinar of how you can use generative AI in your classrooms. So last April, we ran our first cohort of our newest virtual seminar, Teaching with AI. This half-day virtual seminar is designed to help instructors successfully bring generative AI tools and topics into the classroom and to help their students explore the tool's power and its limits. The seminar is facilitated by Mitch Weiss, a faculty member at Harvard Business School. Mitch has firsthand experience building and deploying AI-based sessions into his courses for MBA students and executives, and he'll share real-time perspectives on teaching with AI. The January cohort, unfortunately, is full, and we do have a waiting list. We are currently working to finalize the date for the next cohort, and we will open registration on our website as soon as the details are confirmed. So stay tuned for updates, and I encourage you to visit the website regularly because that seminar does tend to fill up quickly. The links to the information that I just mentioned above are in chat now. We've also included links to 2 of our Inspiring Minds articles, How I Used Gen AI to Create a Highly Engaging Assignment, and the other is titled, When It Comes to Gen AI, Let Your Students Play. So please take a few moments to click on the links in chat. I will keep chat open for about 10 minutes to give you time to explore these links. And thank you again for spending this time with us, and be well.